A homecoming, obviously, to return to a team where you spent a good part of your early coaching career.
Well, I think the fact that, obviously the goal was to get back to the American League as a head coach, and to be able to go back to the team I spent 4 years with is a little bit of icing on the cake, and made a lot of relationships over those 4 year period. And anytime you're able to win a championship in a city, I think there's always special memories. So, it was an emotional moment for me, and, just real glad to be able to get that opportunity to be the head coach there.
Did you see this coming so soon, and how did it unfold?
No, I mean, when last summer, obviously, went to a different coach, and you think they're going to be there for the long haul, so you never thought you'd be able to go back to the same place 12 months later. But sometimes in life you have full circle moments, and this is one for me and my family, and something that didn't anticipate. When we originally moved here last summer, but sometimes things happen to go your way in terms of getting back to the AHL, and I'm just glad to be able to do that.
How long did it take you to say yes?
I'm going to be honest, not very long. I mean, certainly made the phone call to my wife because I wasn't home when the call came that Sunday morning, and just. For me, it was just the opportunity more than anything else, and it was an automatic yes.
You talked about it a lot last year when you took the job about coming back to the ECHL was a risk for you in your coaching career. Safe to say that this place exceeded your expectations here in Bakersfield?
Well, I think the biggest thing for the organization is, usually there's a lot of promises made, and for me, every promise that came to fruition, and I think that's the only thing you can ask for as a coach. And I really preached all summer long and all year long that we wanted to establish an American League type of mentality here, and I think that's what we accomplished. And unfortunately, we were able to not get it 100% done, but when I took the job last summer, obviously the goal was to win the Kelly Cup, but certainly where the franchise had been the 2 previous years, you were hoping to maybe put a game plan of a 2-year, 3 plan in place, and I think the franchise is in excellent condition here moving forward.
How much did you get out of your year here in terms of where you were as a head coach this time last year and where you are now?
Well, I think anytime you're an assistant coach and you're looking to be a head coach, you worry when you start getting into that year 4, year 5, year 6 area because it is different. You are the voice of the organization. You're the guy that's in there every day talking to the players and managing the people. And I think that it was great for my coaching career because it was almost an apprenticeship for me to be a head coach at the next level. And I think a lot of things that I set out to accomplish this past year, I've done, and I'm a better coach for it.
I know it's a long season, 72 games and whatnot, but when you got off to the start that you got off to, were you thinking, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, it wasn't certainly the start we were looking for. There's no doubt about that. But I said all along that we stuck with the plan, and I had some great people to work with here that believed in it as well. And we did make some recruiting changes on the fly, and the guys that we stuck with from originally, really bought into the plan, and we had some great leadership. And I think that once we solidified our goaltending as well, because I don't think our team was as bad as the record indicated early, and that was a major issue, and we kind of addressed that as well, and the team took off from there, and we ended up pretty much being the Cinderella story of the ECHL season.
You might not have known a lot about Bakersfield before you came out here last year, but knowing what you know now and knowing the game of hockey like you do, is this an attractive place for a head coach to come?
Absolutely, and I think whoever gets the position is in great shape because I truly believe that the Condors may be in the ECHL and considered a AA level, but they run their franchise as an American League entity, and from the front office with Matt Riley just to the hockey ops, I think that it's second to none, and I've said that to several people because the goal is to come in and coach, and I know recruiting is part of that, but to be able to become a better coach and make your players better, you need help. And to be able to have a full-time assistant with Ryan Murphy, and then Paul Willis, part-time assistant, and even, from Kevin Bartle to Holtz, just the help from the organization from upstairs allows me to be able to develop as a coach and make the players better. And not a lot of franchises can say that in the ECHL, because it is sometimes a one-man show or even a two-man show. And I consider this a multiple type of organization where there was several hands on deck that made things possible for us. If he wants to develop as a coach and be able to have a lot of things at his disposal to have success, then it'd be the right move for him. I think that there's some real key first-year guys that are turning second-year pros that are on board already. The fact that the Edmonton Oilers own the team, I think, is real good, especially when it comes to recruiting, because they're going to put a number of contracts here, which makes recruiting easier. There was, a couple guys, if you think about Nick McNeil and Jordan Hayward, that came to the team in March. I don't think without the Oilers' ownership and our ability to push the envelope with personnel coming to watch these kids play, we may not have been able to get them. So I think it makes recruiting a little bit easier. So I think overall it'd be a no-brainer for a guy that's looking to be a head coach and be able to develop his coaching career. The pieces are in place, and I know I talked to Bill Scott at the draft when I was down there, and he was asking me about some players, and he was asking me about camp spots, and he's flat out said, Troy, we want to win in Bakersfield. And at the time, that made me feel good, because I was still the head coach, and nothing was solidified for me to leave. So to be able to hear those words from the assistant GM of the Oilers, I think that speaks volumes in terms of how bad they do want to win here.